We're live. Play to the whistle, special edition. Yeah, we got the three amigos are here.
All right.
Three
Yeah,
amigos.
three amigos. Listen, before we start, this is a live one, so special things are run. But follow us at PTTW Podcast on Instagram, Twitter. Get the YouTube as well. Like and subscribe, all of that stuff. But yeah, man, obviously special. We had to do the special. Cristiano Ronaldo, CR7, back in Salford. You know what I'm saying? I'm only messing. Back at Manchester United, man. Come on. I know you two are gas, man. I'm gonna let you two do the thing. Speak up the thing. What's happening?
Well, you should call us Mystic Meg.
Speak your truth, Jesse.
Firstly.
Speak your truth.
No, but both of us, you should call us Mystic Meg because we spoke about this on in depth on the Play to the Whistle podcast. You can find that. If you're a new listener, you can find that. It was before the Euros, and we predicted this, or not predicted it, but we suggested this signing. So I think it makes sense for everyone, really. We just need someone that's going to score 20 plus goals down the middle, play the width for the 18-yard box, doesn't have to press, do nothing, just score goals. He can do all of that. So, and I think most importantly as well, mentality-wise, someone like him was needed in the dressing room, man, because the vibe you get like from a lot of the players is that obviously they work hard for the team and nothing to do with their like effort or work rate or anything like that, but they just lack the mentality of winners, like that serial winning mentality, and some of them are just happy to be there, you know. So someone like him will like go in there, raise the standards, and a lot of them players idolize him as well. That's the other thing. Like, so it's going to make a massive difference. What's your thoughts, Kieran?
Yeah, look, we talked about it. Yep, there's other priorities on the pitch, but listen, you know, his mentality, like you said, is amazing. There's a lot of players that looked up to him, like you said, Lingard, Rashford wanted to be like him. Is he the Ronaldo of old? Obviously not. But you know, for the money that United are getting him for, you know, for Juventus, it works well for them. He's still a goal scorer. Banged at the Euros, he's banging in Serie A, bangs in the Champions League. So yeah, I think for United it's a good signing. It'd be interesting to see how Oli fits them all in. But I said I wasn't going to be, you know, pessimistic about it. So I'm going to keep it nice and positive. But
I think
yeah, no, I'm sure a
I
lot
think
of United fans are happy, especially the ones that haven't burnt their shirts yet as well.
I think it's a signing that it's a good signing, and you mentioned fitting them all in, but we got to remember. I said on a podcast yesterday, like we don't know what's going to happen throughout the season in terms of like people picking up COVID and things like that. It's a brilliant option to have because we just don't know, and you can't turn down a signing like Cristiano Ronaldo, regardless of who you are, anything, allegiances, all that kind of stuff. If it was, obviously speaking from a Chelsea perspective, if it was a Chelsea decision that we could have gone and got him, I would have been made up. I'm sure any club in the world would have had Cristiano Ronaldo in their club. So you can't really knock that one at all. And I know that there's issues, obviously. I've seen today on socials, people are still talking about needing a DM and all of that stuff. And that is 100% true. And I think, you know, United fans are well in their rights to kind of voice that, but you just can't, this isn't like a, you know, the return of CR7, man, at Old Trafford. Even as a Chelsea fan, I'm looking forward to seeing that this season.
I think, well, I'm one of them people actually that was talking about DM because it's like, I have to be truthful. It would have been the first position that I would have signed a player in for us, but and we seen that evidently in the Southampton game. But it's CR7, man. You can't really, if that's on the table, it's 13 million and add-ons. We can obviously afford the wages. He's got to get it done, man. You know. And then, like I said earlier, when we're unsure of what Martial's going to bring to the table goals-wise. So if Cavani does what he done last season or more or less around that, and Ronaldo will obviously score more than those guys in that position anyways, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. I'd have to agree with you 100%. What do you think in terms
I
of
totally agree. I totally agree.
yeah? What do you think in terms of like um the options that United have now? Obviously, going forward, it's brilliant. You know what I mean? Do you think in terms of this signing, it kind of puts you in the mix even more so? Because I think I said before when we did the preview of the Premier League this season, I think I had United as one of the teams that should be potentially competing for the league this season. Do you feel that this signing now of Ronaldo that kind of brings more kind of strength behind that statement?
I think,
Not for me.
yeah, I was gonna
You
say
don't
not for
think
me.
so? You
No,
don't think so?
I, he brings more goals to the. It's kind of like when we had the discussion about Harry Kane. So, like, even if we got Harry Kane, for example, yeah, Harry Kane would have maybe scored, 20, 25 goals for United. It would have looked good for him. But with all the other issues we had in the squad, it still doesn't bring us to challenging these other teams. And I think, yeah,
Do
Ronaldo.
you not think you've addressed some of them though in terms of Sancho, Varane? You haven't. You don't think you've addressed some of the issues that were obviously obvious last season?
Yeah, we've addressed some, but not all of the major ones.
That
No,
wasn't the
I
problem.
still think I still think DM's like a massive issue. Like not the signings that or the targets that we've been linked to as DM. They're not like glamorous signings and marquee signings. So maybe that's why they've not like, especially Woodward. We know he loves a marquee signing, a big name for shirt sales and things like that. So maybe that's why he's not chased it as much as he should have. Or maybe I don't know if Ollie thinks he doesn't need it, but it's evidently still a massive issue. The combinations in there are all wrong. It's still really needed. If we got that,
So
then
let me just ask you this though. So let's just say it wasn't Ollie as the manager. You had Klopp, Tuchel, Pep. You don't think any of those three managers could potentially win the league with the squad that United have at the moment? Is it a managerial issue that is probably more why
no,
you're saying no, or
no.
do you think it's the actual squad?
I think it's like when Pep was at City in the first season. Like Pep, they played champagne football, good to watch most of the season, but they were lacking in areas. And then once they got the right back, the left back, they bought a new goalkeeper. They won the league the next season. I still think, yeah, if their managers came in, they would win a trophy 100%. I think, like in one of the cup competitions. But the league is like 38 teams, man, and like we're competing against City and Liverpool and Chelsea, like and improved Chelsea as well. You've got to be ready in all areas, man. Otherwise, in the
And I think,
big games, you get exposed.
yeah, I think that though, but we didn't have a out and out striker that was prolific last season, and we still did well. So I don't think you need
Yeah,
the
but
whole squad complete. I think Aaron Wan-Bissaka, we said last season, was one of the best right backs in the Premier League last season. Luke Shaw
no,
had
but
a brilliant, but Luke
I
Shaw
don't.
had a brilliant season as well,
Yeah,
and Paul Popper's started the season very well. Obviously, you've got Jadon Sancho who's got to come into that sort of United team. He's got to obviously build the cohesionness with the squad as well. Ronaldo coming in, Cavani, Greenwood's looking like a good player this season as well. Does that not surely put you in contention for the league though? Like in terms of not saying win it, but surely you've got to put your name in the bag for the league.
I think names are names, though, innit? Like they're still not like not just the DM, even the goalkeeper. There's still issues, and there's not a lot of depth either. So as much as there is in certain positions, I don't think there is everywhere else. So I think you would have to still address those issues. Then you're in that conversation.
Okay. What
That's
do you
just my
reckon,
opinion.
Kit?
I still think that can definitely win a trophy, 100%. But which trophy is the question, really?
I think for the squad that's there, I think you've got to be pushing for the league. If I'm honest, maybe just as a sort of neutral, but I hear what you're saying. Obviously, De Gea's still kind of question mark over him. But I think bringing in Varane and bringing in a Jadon Sancho, a Cristiano Ronaldo, obviously, like I said, Greenwood looks like for me personally, Greenwood's been at the two games I've watched of United, he's been one of the best players. Paul Popper as well. I understand about the DM thing because that's been burning United fans for 2 seasons now. But I do think United are definitely in contention. They've got to be put in that kind of group of teams that can win the Premier League this season, especially with the signing as well. This signing
I think
gets United over the line a little bit more.
All right. I was trying not to be pessimistic and not say this here, but a better manager, then you could put them in.
Yeah, but that's what I said before. That's what I said before in
I know,
terms of.
I
So I think no. But no, I'm just saying. I think that the manager is the reason you potentially might not. But I think with the squad that you've got there, you've definitely got a shout for the league now. And I think Ronaldo coming in. Remember, Ronaldo could probably play for another 5-6 years. As mad as that sounds, he's that kind of athlete that he will potentially play like a Zlatan. I think Zlatan's a bit older than Ronaldo, but he's that kind of athlete, and he's not like he's dried up of goals. Wherever he goes, he scores. He bangs. He scores mad numbers. So I think defensively, of course, there's issues still there. But Varane coming in, I think that's a brilliant signing. Like we mentioned last season, Wan-Bissaka's probably one of the best right backs. Luke Shaw's played really well. Maguire's even kind of stepped up as well. At times he's been brilliant when I've watched him for United. So I think there's a lot there that tells me that you have to be in that contention for the league. You have to be in there for me personally.
Yeah, but that's what I said. I said at the start, like obviously in our last episode or the preview episode, that if it would be Chelsea, Liverpool, City, then we'll be pushing behind that group. I still think that we've got enough talent to score a lot of goals now, but it's just whether it can hold up at the other end. And the manager's a big factor in that as well. Like, what teams is he going to pick? Because how's he fit this all in? What's his selections going to be? There's still a lot of unanswered questions. So we'll just have to see how it all works, really.
We've mentioned Ollie a bit now, but how do you think he's going to cope with dealing with the egos, like you just mentioned in around? When I say egos, I mean big players. Obviously, Cavani, so class is a big player, big name. Jadon Sancho is a big name. Cristiano Ronaldo coming in, big name. Varane, big name. How's he going to cope? Popper as well, obviously, they're world-class players. How's he going to be able to cope with all them players, keeping them all happy? Because he's not going to keep all the front, he's not going to keep them all happy all the time. How do you think he's going to cope with that? I'll throw that at Kieran.
I think for me, for me, I think he's going to struggle. That's why I agree with what Jesse's saying to an extent. But yeah, you're right, cuz like that squad's a more competent manager, I should say, not just a manager, but a proper coach will get that team challenging for the league and win a cup. I think there's going to be issues with the selection and the style of football. I think there are going to be a lot of games like the Southampton game. You do have a player like Ronaldo playing. United win that 3-1, 4-1, 3-2, 4-2. The issue is, are we going to be seeing Matic and Fred play alongside each other? That's a problem. Are we going to see Lindelof playing instead of Varane in big games? So yeah, that's where I see the downfall. That's why I don't put them as title challengers at all. I see them as top 4.
Yeah, just to add to what Kieran said, is like someone like Ronaldo is definitely going to score goals, but all the other stuff I said is true. Like we kind of know he's a 9 at the moment. He doesn't really press off the ball, doesn't do none of that stuff. So having him and then also having a Bruno in the team at the same time, you have to kind of make sure that the pivot is 30 basically, like that they can do both sides of the game effectively. They can get the ball off the defenders, they can screen, they can do everything. Because if they can't, we're just going to concede a lot of goals as we did last season. And I think it's more imperative now we've got Ronaldo that we do get a DM. But in terms of handling all the egos and all of that, I think Ollie's actually good at that side of it, I think. And I think it helps that he knows Ronaldo already. So it's not like Ronaldo's some unknown entity to him. He's played with him, so they know each other. So it shouldn't really be an issue in that sense. And I think what you'll probably see happen is, with the rest of the players, they will fall in place. They know they're not the guy now. Like, do you know what I mean? Like they know that they're not the biggest guy in the dressing room and things like that. So it should be quite comfortable to handle that side of it, to be honest.
It'll be interesting to see, because I think obviously Ronaldo, just from what I've been reading today, went in and told Juventus that he's not playing for them anymore. Like that doesn't really happen. It's like Ronaldo's almost bigger than Juventus in a way. Do you know what I mean? Because of the fact he can walk into the club and say, "I'm not playing for you anymore." Juventus can't really say no, no. You know, like a Harry Kane situation where they say,
Yeah.
"No, we'll tell you when you can go." It's the other way around with Ronaldo, and I just wonder. Although Ollie knows in their bedrooms and they've been pally from before, does that mean that he, like, is he still going to be able to cope with that? Ronaldo's a massive brand. He's not like just a player. Like Ronaldo's big time. So
Just
Cavani and them do you know what I mean?
Just to quickly add, basically, I feel as though this is one of those pinch of salt stories, because that side of it's probably true. He did probably say that, but one of Allegri's main demands of coming back to Juventus was that they get rid of Ronaldo. So he didn't want him there.
But
He
he's
was
done
not.
it. He's done it at other clubs before, though. He's done it before other clubs as well, not just for Juve as well.
I think it was kind of mutual at Real Madrid, to be fair. I think they wanted to make a profit on him. So I think that was more mutual, but this was mutual as well. Allegri doesn't want Ronaldo. He's not in his plans. So it's kind of better to let them run with the notion that it's all Ronaldo causing these issues to get him out.
No, I don't think it's issues though. I just think it's Ronaldo, and I think he's gonna be. He's a big player. Do you know what I mean? He's a big player. He's a big star. So I just wonder, he might, like you said, he might deal with it really well. He might deal with it to the point where he can control all the players and deal with that off the field stuff, which he seems to be doing okay with at the moment. But I just think it's going to be interesting to see that unfold as well. But yeah, like I think it's, like I said at the start of this, I think it's a very, very good sign, and I'm looking forward to seeing him in the Premier League again. Yeah, I'm sure other defenders aren't, because he's going to still cause a nightmare for them. But just in terms of the overall goal, in terms of trying to get that DM in for United now, who would be sort of on your list of players that you'd want in? I know someone mentioned Ruben Neves earlier.
Basuma. That's who I'd look at right now. I think that would be the easiest move to make. I know Camavinga's available as well, but for me, it'd be between them two at the moment. I think in this budget, I don't think we could afford Rice. He'd be too expensive. Not to say he's not worth what we'd have to pay, but we've already outlaid quite a lot. I don't think we could get that over the line. Basuma would probably be 30 to 40 million. So I think that's a realistic one.
What are you saying, Cos?
I mean, there's obviously a few things you mentioned. I know we're going to wrap up shortly. I think Ollie's going to struggle. Just going back to the dressing room, I think he's going to struggle with that. I don't see many leaders in that team aside of Cavani, Fernandes, Pogba. There's going to be a lot more arguments in there. I feel that's why Lukaku went and left, because he wanted to win, and that mentality wasn't there. I think Ronaldo's a big ego, and Ollie might struggle with that. I think midfielders, we can speculate till the cows come home, but I can't see that happening now. Like they just, I mean, this is effectively what 13 plus 7 million on Ronaldo. He's a good signing, but it just shows you where their priorities are. So I don't think they're going to try and plug that gap unless they can get rid of like a Jesse Lingard, maybe Phil Jones, Van der Beek on loan. It's a bit too last minute. They've got like 4 or 5 days. So we all know that I'd get in Ruben Neves within a heart. I'd just offer them a blank check and say, "Would you want for him? Just leave him outside Old Trafford, and we'll collect him in the morning." But yeah, I don't think that's going to happen, and that's what's going to be the downfall. Maybe they'll get closer to a trophy. You'd hope so, and I think Ollie has to win a trophy now to keep his job. But I still think the issues are in their head-to-head battles against the big teams or in the crunch games. Ollie doesn't get it right. So it's going to be down to someone like Cavani, Ronaldo, whether they're going to get him out of jail, Pogba, in the big games, not tactically, but more just because those players are winners and they're going to grab something. We've seen it too many times.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I mean, there's still plenty of time to get a deal done. I'm sure there's going to be still plenty of activity for clubs over the next couple of days anyway. Window shuts on Tuesday, but this is a big one. Obviously, we had to do the special for it because it's obviously big news, big time. Old Trafford's going to be rocking again. All of that stuff. Jesse's gassed. Kieran's slyly gassed, but doesn't want to show it. So it's calm.
Told you
But
I'm neutral. I'm neutral.
man wants to dig out his Ronaldo shirt. But
Wow.
yeah, obviously everyone who's listening to this on the podcast, you can follow us at PTTW podcast on Instagram, Twitter, all of that stuff, YouTube as well. So yeah, just give us a follow, like and subscribe, comment, let us know your thoughts as well. And obviously we'll be back with our regular Sunday episode as well, looking at all the fixtures from the weekend. So yeah, this has been Play to the Whistle special episode. Cristiano Ronaldo is back. Cr7, Jesse, Kieran, T. Myself. Thanks for listening, tuning in, and all of that stuff. Until next time.